Representative Barrett, thank you for joining us.
You're quite welcome.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, your district, and your professional career.
Sure. Well, I am a husband with a wife and two daughters, both college age. So at this point in my life, I'm very conscientious of the high cost of college education. I represent a lot of Chisago County, which is right north of the Twin Cities, right off of I-35, north of Forest Lake. So North Branch, Lindstrom, Wyoming, Taylor's Falls, Stacy. We have a lot of lakes. We have a lot of people that work, but a lot of them work down in the Twin Cities. So jobs are a big issue in the fact that we don't have a lot of commercial industrial. We have a lot of lakes. A lot of people come up to fish. It's a good recreational county. Snowmobile lakes. We have 2 state parks, and I enjoy hiking. State parks, many trails, tens of miles of trails I like to be on. And it's a good place to raise kids. We have great schools and good teachers, great teachers, and hardworking families.
Can you describe your professional occupation and what you do outside the state capitol?
I am a director of market research and marketing analysis. I work for the publishing division of the Hazelden Betty Ford Foundation. So corporately, we treat people with issues related to addiction. And in publishing, we sell products related to addiction and other related topics. So I help us market and sell our product more efficiently and more productively, trying to get our product to the people who need our books and videos and curricula related to chemical dependency. Very interesting and very important subject, mental health, addiction, areas of our healthcare that are emerging as far as getting the help that they need.
What are your priorities for the upcoming legislative session?
Well, I'm vice chair of the tax committee, and I know last year was our budget year, but we didn't get the tax bill done. Couldn't find bipartisan agreement on a sufficient and significant tax relief bill. So my priority is really to get a tax relief bill that we can be proud of, that families in Minnesota who need a tax break can get that break. We've had some over the last few years, we've had tax increases, and locally we've had tax increases. Well, I think people deserve a tax decrease. So we're trying to find the right mix of tax incentives that can help Minnesota families and businesses. Businesses in my area compete with Wisconsin and the 7-county metro area. And a lot of times they don't compete very favorably because of the bad tax climate we have in my neck of the woods. So I'm trying to help alleviate that.
What would you say is the biggest challenge facing Minnesota?
The biggest challenge would be, that's a great question. It would depend on who you are in Minnesota. I think jobs would be number one. We have a fairly good climate right now. We have some red flags on the horizon that might suggest that we have maybe too many people and not enough high-paying jobs to support families. So I think high-paying jobs probably would be the number one issue that as lawmakers we need to understand. We're not obviously going to create those jobs, but we need to create a climate where businesses can thrive and we can eliminate unnecessary regulation and reduce taxes and other burdens appropriately. And again, I say that being a bedroom community where we compete with Wisconsin for businesses, they have their commercial industrial, their businesses actually pay about half the tax rate than they do in Minnesota. So a lot of the businesses, instead of setting up shop in my county, they would go across the border to Osceola, St. Croix Falls, Wisconsin, where their costs are less. So that would be where government can be involved to make sure that we're competing favorably with other states. I grew up in South Dakota, a border town called Brandon, and a lot of companies in the Brandon Industrial Park are former Minnesota companies. And so they come there for a very good reason because the costs are lower. So I see it from both angles now. I'm on the inside of a high tax area, and I grew up in a low tax area, and I can see the benefit and the negative byproduct of a bad tax climate.
Do you have a collection of some kind or a hobby you'd like to share with us?
Sure, I play fantasy football. I play recreationally. I own a team with a buddy of mine. We share a team. And then I also play in a league with my wife, which both have their advantages and maybe challenges. So this year I got second place in my league and my wife got third. Last year she got second and I got third. So we both do pretty well, and it's just a fun thing to do. Another reason to watch football on a lazy Sunday afternoon in the fall when you could be doing yard work or other things, but you decide to just maybe lay back and have one day where you can rest and get your mind off the issues of the day. So I do that. I also referee basketball. And so I had a game last night and Monday night and one Thursday and Friday. I've done about 40 games, and I like to be out there and get a little bit of exercise, watch a game, and hopefully be a positive influence on some kids in my community.
Representative Barrett, thank you for your time.
You're quite welcome.